work session and have the,
Right, on the strategic plan.
Okay.
Almost there.
You know,
There you go.
Hey, well, sorry, go ahead.
great. Okay, I'd like to call the January 12th
are we
meeting
recording? Sorry, are we recording?
Yes.
Okay.
of the Oregon City Library Board to order. It is now 5:32.
It is now.
5:32 on the 12th. Okay, this is a brief meeting before a work session that we had scheduled, and there's some business that we need to take care of. But first, I'd like to re-welcome Larry and Nick to the board.
Yeah.
We went through an interesting process of selecting selecting the board members, a little different than we've done in the past, but it worked out for the best. And I'm delighted to welcome them back onto the board and thank them for volunteering to do so.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
So we've got really two quick things we want to do in this meeting. And one is we need to, by bylaw, elect a chair and vice chair for this calendar year. And so I'd entertain any motions that you might offer.
Well, in
I'd
the
like to
interest-
nominate you, Dave, to continue as our chair, if you're willing to do it.
Second,
Yes, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Don't change horses in the middle of a stream. You
Okay,
know?
well, I'm happy to be on horseback. Thank you. And thank you for your vote of confidence. All in favor of that, please
aye.
signify.
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. And now for the vice chair as well, please.
I'd like to nominate Cynthia to continue as our vice chair, if she's in agreement. to
I'm willing
continue.
to do that. If someone else has a strong interest, I'm willing to cede that, however, so I don't want to, take anybody's interest spot.
Okay, great. Do I hear a second, please?
Second,
Okay, any other nominations? No? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of Cynthia Andrews serving another year as vice chair, please so signify.
aye.
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 Any opposition? No. Okay, so done. Thank you both. Thank you, everybody, for that. Greg, could you give a brief report, really focusing on any of the news I know that we have that is significant for the operation of the library? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, David. I will be very, very brief. I did not prepare a full written report this time. We'll catch up next month. I did provide statistics. If anybody's got questions, please let me know. The main thing I wanted to update you all about is just the COVID, the COVID situation, and it changes day by day. So we have had a couple of staff positive cases, which we had gone a long while without that happening. So the most important thing is the staff members who tested positive are doing fine. They are healthy. They're doing okay. They have come through it fine. We expect one will return on Friday, and I'm not quite sure when the other one will return. We've had a couple of other staff members that, per city policy and keeping people healthy, we have had them stay home. They've got situations where we feel it's in the best interest of them and the library and our staff to quarantine them. That said, this is not unique to the library. Every department in the city is facing this, especially over the past couple of weeks. I anticipate this is probably going to be the situation we're in for the next few weeks. We're kind of taking things day by day. I've talked with our city manager about how we respond to this going forward, and right at this moment, the way we are approaching this is we're going to make a determination on a daily basis what our staffing levels are, what our available staffing levels are, and if we need to, we will curtail hours at the building. So if we only have the staff to operate the building safely for 5 hours or 6 hours or whatever, that's what we'll do. Right at the moment, we're not considering, more targeted things like occupancy counts, going back to occupancy counts, closing off portions of the building, changing the way we do things. Those are still tools that we have available to us should they become necessary. But I think this time around, we're going to try, we're going to see what we can do with the staff that we have available on any particular day. One big reason that we're, especially things like occupancy counts, staff are already being put in a position of enforcing mask rules, which puts them in a very difficult position. And it was really hard for us to say, okay, in addition to that, now we're going to have you going back to, monitoring occupancy and telling people they can't come into the building without any state guidance to back that up. That would be very, very difficult. So that's the way we're planning to kind of approach the next few weeks. It's kept Denise and I on our toes for the past couple of weeks. We are spending, a good portion of the day just kind of figuring this out. There are probably a couple of things that we're working on that we're gonna delay. We're gonna focus on the immediate need at hand and just get through this, and then go back to some of our other projects that we have. But that's kind of the update I wanted to give, and just prepare everybody. If we do need to close or curtail hours, we will give our community as much advance notice as we possibly can. But it's entirely possible it may be a morning of decision. And I will reach out to all of you to let you know if we have to do that. That's kind of where we are.
Great. Any questions for Greg? Concerns? Yeah, this is a serious bug that's incredibly infectious. And those of us who are vaccinated are probably pretty safe from hospitalization, but the infection rates are just going to skyrocket here. This thing has I don't know if you know, an N factor of 10. Which means that any infected person is likely to infect 10 others. I mean, that sets up a progression of numbers that is quite scary. Okay, well, is there any other immediate business that we need to do that can't be put off till next month? No? Okay, hearing none, I will adjourn this meeting at 5:38. I ask now the board members to please click on the next meeting for our work session on the strategic plan.
Thank you, everyone.